We here. All right. Why do I always start my videos like that? It's like, all right, action.
The
I
clap makes
noticed
you
that.
feel
Like with
good.
with all my videos, like if you look at all my videos, like it's like, all right.
Maybe you were a director in a past life.
Maybe. I think that's where all of this creative stuff come from. All right. Well, I am shooting live from the beaches of Aruba, as you can see. Yeah.
And I'm live from my closet.
Love it. Well, welcome to Shaking the Table, where we dive into the most provocative and, well, maybe not too provocative, but
Yes.
and pressing topics in the pet industry. This is the place where no subject is off limits and every conversation challenges the status quo. So, whether it is addressing the overlooked truths or sparking necessary debates or just bringing fresh perspectives to the forefront, we're here to ruffle some feathers and make waves in the world of pet care. So, if you're ready for a bold, unfiltered, look at the issues that matter most, you're in the right place. So let's shake things up. We need to get a t-shirt. That's it. We're gonna get some t-shirts. That's it. I'll write that down right now. Shake things up. T-shirts. This is our first episode, y'all. I'm your host, Wayne. and
I'm Talisa.
my yes, my co-host Talisa. Um, all right, Talisa, what's what are we talking about today? What's going on? What are we shaking things up? What mats your fur?
We're gonna start with something real light. We're gonna keep it cute for the first topic. What should I charge? I see that in the Facebook groups all the time. But the fact of the matter is, it should never be a competitive price. Nobody
Yeah,
ever knows what their numbers are, and your numbers should determine what your prices are. So a lot of people come into Facebook groups and, hey, what should I charge for this doodle? What should I charge for this Pyrenees? But what should you charge? What are you spending? What is your life like? How many
mhm,
days do you work? How many dogs do you want to groom? Like, nothing aggravates me more than somebody saying, what should I charge? And not knowing what their life is like.
for sure. And a lot of it does come from expenses. Like you can't. But so I feel like all right, two things. One, the value that you bring, and then two, what your expenses are. So you can't live a lavish lifestyle only charging $60 for grooms and then complain that you can't do anything, or every time somebody sees you, you're in a new Gucci bag or Louis Vuitton or Birkin, and your prices don't reflect that. So it's like, how do you increase that price point? How do you do that? And then I mean it comes from education too. The more you know, the better you can charge. But a lot of people aren't taking their businesses serious so that they can charge more and do more and live better. Like I would rather do 10 dogs per day at a higher price point than 50 dogs per day at a lower price point.
Oh, absolutely. I think that power groomer mentality comes from groomers working in corporate life. Um,
Hmm.
when you work with the big guys, it's groom as many dogs as possible, not necessarily in the shortest amount of time because they are open for 12 hours from 9 to 9. So it's
Yeah.
not even how many dogs can you get done before your shift is over. It's we book these many dogs they need to get done, which often to do.
And more than likely they're all just like shave downs and they're not like good grooms. Spade is spade. They're not good grooms all the time. Like spade is spade. Like it, and you have to, like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, so
Yeah, yeah. I definitely get it. It's shade
get through.
down
I can
to
get
some
through
of these
20 shave
corporate.
downs in a day.
Yeah.
I could get through 20 shave down, and all I got to do is just make the face pretty. I could get through that.
And according to this social media lifestyle, the faces don't even be that. If we being
Oh,
transparent, because these
yeah.
pet parents, they be on the TikToks talking
Yeah.
about count your days.
Right.
corporate.
This is what I got, and this is no, this is what I wanted, and this is what I got.
Yeah, but
So, I mean, at some point, there has to be some recognition that if you want to charge more, if you really want to live that lifestyle, if you want to do better, you got to invest in your business first of all.
a lot
I
of
mean,
people are scared to do that because they're like, if I'm spending money, I'm not making it. So what do you say to that?
you're not going to make any money until you start spending money.
Scared money don't make money.
It don't. Like, especially if you're starting off in business or you're starting off in any career, like, especially where the more you make, the more value you have, the more you make, So I can't come out the gate not knowing what I'm doing, charging $200 for a groom, and then people expect $200 worth of service or $200 worth of value, and I'm not giving them $200 worth of value. Guess what? That person is not coming back because one, they're going to identify that I don't know what I'm doing. And two, I don't know what I'm doing. So now it's like I'm making this money and I'm kind of scamming people essentially,
Hey, we in
because it's
Atlanta.
like,
We in
huh?
Atlanta. We in Atlanta.
it,
Home of the
it,
scammers. Fake it till you make it.
this
What
is
you
true.
mean?
This is true. But at the same time, you can't come out the gate charging these people this much for grooms. And it's one thing, say that we are doing courses or classes or programs or something like that to where they're paying for us for the time that went into creating the course and like these click funnels and stuff like that. But I'm providing a service with a live animal. If I just wake up one day and just like, hey, I'm just gonna do this and I don't know what I'm doing, then it's like I don't have the confidence, I don't have the education, I don't have the know-how, I don't have the resources. Like when I first started out, when I first like literally I can remember my first groom by myself. Um, I bought my table the day before. I only had, I think I only had a 5, 7, and a 10. That's it. And I didn't really have shears. And yeah, I was looking at the picture and it was just like, ooh, y'all let me groom these dogs. Y'all- ooh, but it was just like, damn, I had to learn, but I wasn't charging $100, $200 for it, and then over time I realized, okay, this is what my price point has to be because I have to essentially give myself a percentage of each groom that I do, but the rest of the money goes into the business. And everybody thinks, oh, groomers make 100% of their grooms. And I'm like,
Especially when
no,
they
I
work for
still have,
themselves.
huh?
Especially when they work for themselves.
Right. No, I still have expenses. I literally had somebody tell me, oh, I'm not going to tip. He already gets 100% of the groom. So why am I tipping? No, I'm not. Do you not see the lights? Do you not see this building that you drove up to? Do you not see all of these employees? Do you not see everything that's on the wall? Like, do you not see all of these expenses? Like, look at something and that's an expense. So you gotta be able to charge appropriately because I mean this ain't free and
Mm.
running the shop is not cheap at all. So I think that's another thing that people have to realize is like, yeah, I want to be able to charge appropriately, but you gotta, like you said, you gotta know your numbers, you gotta balance and budget correctly, and don't worry about being competitive with the next groomer as far as their price points because their expenses are not your expenses.
Yes. And that's my biggest issue with that question because one person might charge $200 for a Yorkie. That was just the first thought
Mhm.
that popped up in my head. But you may not necessarily need to. Like, if you living at home with your mama and you ain't trying to move out, why you need to charge $200? You don't.
You don't.
I mean, making that money, yeah, cool. Like, and I'm not saying you need to be able to justify your prices in any way because the price is the price. Somebody will pay it and somebody won't. But
Mhm.
You should definitely figure out what your bare minimum is, and then you need to add in unexpected expenses
Hmm.
and get to it. And you need to have something to stand behind. Like, you people always talk about how the dogs smell. Like, that's a $50 cologne, dog. Like, it ain't
Yeah,
free.
each spray is 89 cents.
Right. That's a $50 cologne. Like, and I know
Yeah.
people who spend more money than that on their products, but you need to know, like, the the
Speaking of,
the
speaking
majority of
of
my
that,
income from or revenue, I'll call it revenue because it's business. Majority of my revenue does not go in my pocket.
what is that new cologne spray that just came out? Is it by Dolce and Gabbana?
Yeah,
How much is that?
I seen that too.
Let me see. Because ain't no way.
It's probably like $600 for like 2 ounces. They got a price point for it already. It's up on the
It is
website.
$100.
How many ounces
Let me
is it?
see. I'm checking this the sizes. First of all, it's sold out on their
Mhm.
website, which is crazy.
Can we talk about the fact that probably pet parents sold it out and not groomers? So they walking around
Yeah,
here with these stinking ass dogs that ain't had baths in 2 months, but they spraying expensive Dolce and Gabbana cologne on it.
50, 50. Yeah, which is crazy to me. Like, get it, but at the same time, it's gonna be another one of those, oh, I use this expensive product on my dog, and I
Cologne's only
still
like
don't want to.
clean.
It doesn't say how much is in here, but either way, I'm not spending $100 on dog cologne.
I hope some of the groomer influencers got to purchase a bottle so we can get some reviews.
Right, feedback on it for sure. But even with stuff like that, that goes into cost.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, cool, it's something, to try, but then also, are you charging an add-on for this ultra luxurious pet cologne?
And baby, that's
You know?
luxurious. It's Dolce and Gabbana.
Right. How long does it last? What scents does it have? What does it do for the fur? How many people are going to get close to your dog to at least smell it to be like, hey, what cologne is this on your dog? Why does your dog smell so good?
That make you want to check the ingredients because like alcohol-based things dry the coat out. They don't typically make products for dogs, so are they making products that are high quality or are they just making products and saying, "Hey, we made this, so we're gonna put $100 tag on it."
Right.
Oh, Lisa.
Let's just make money in the pet industry.
Because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Let's get in it.
No, for real. And that's the crazy part. So now everybody wants a piece of this pie and they don't know how to charge appropriately, but everybody's also getting these expensive dogs and not wanting to take care of them or not understanding that there are there's maintenance that comes with dogs. And you as the pet professional have to be in a position to where you are educating pet parents on what the maintenance looks like, keeping them on a decent schedule. And that does come with a price point. Like you invested in your family to get a dog, you invested in yourself to get a dog. Otherwise, you could have been a foster for free, but you decided to invest in your family and in yourself to get a dog. And now it comes with a price point. And the pet professional has to be on the right side of the spectrum, basically, to say, hey, this is what I'm going to charge for your dog and stand on it. But it has to go along with how much value you're bringing. Because again, I can't charge you $150 for this groom and it still looks crappy afterwards. Like I feel
Yeah.
bad if I'm not able to groom a dog correctly because of the fur texture. And that goes into what they're eating. That goes into maintenance and care at home. That goes into, how
Products you're
often they're,
using.
hmm,
I said that's also the products you're using.
the products we're using and their genetics. There's a lot of factors that go into grooming. And it's just like, you can't just wake up one day and just be like, I'm just going to start grooming dogs and charge $300 for it. There's no way.
This topic is straying, but in the right direction. It's straying, but in the right direction. Because we can get on the fact that, you know, it's an unregulated industry and
Mhm.
it shouldn't be because the Department of Agriculture got their fingers in everything animal related, but don't care what groomers are doing. If you don't have a brick and mortar, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like all y'all care about is the kennel license. Let's talk about it.
No, yeah, because they definitely pop up and check to see if we have our up-to-date kennel license. They definitely do. Um, and I mean, I see that there's a lot more regulation talk these
Yeah.
days. Because again, there's so many people that wake up and want to do this, but then, they're cutting dogs, they're not getting the right mentors, they're not investing in their businesses correctly, they're not talking to the right people. And one thing that I wish that I did better when I first started out was finding somebody to really like mentor me into this, like how we're having this conversation, price correctly, service area, products to use. It was
Even
all
I'm not gonna touch that. Even I'm not gonna touch that one.
it was all a touch and go. It was all like I'm just testing out a whole bunch of stuff.
Because you had a mentor. I had a mentor. We just didn't learn the business.
It wasn't the right mentor. Okay. There was a lot that we missed out in the environments that we were in. I can't hear you. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. But I am glad that we were able to have sense enough to go out and venture and experience things outside of the mentorship.
Mhm.
Um and um using social media to our advantage as far as that goes, finding groups of people who are willing to share information, share ideas, and I don't know, kind of take us under the wing and teach at no cost to us outside of travel. Um, so we were able to experience some other things, some different products, different techniques and stuff like that. So I do think that um should be accounted to the experience of the groomer.
Mhm.
Like just learning from one person doesn't make you who you are. Like go out, learn different things. It's so many people are on YouTube teaching different things. But in order for you to say, oh, I know how to do that, you actually have to apply it. You have to practice it. You have to, you gotta mess up some dogs.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Which sucks.
that
But
you probably shouldn't be charging $150 for a doodle.
yeah.
But the learning process, going to the conferences, making groomer friends, watching, taking courses, watching YouTube videos, trying different products, different shears, because not all shears are the same. And it's not necessarily the brand, it's the quality of the shear.
Yeah.
Because people will pay $600 for some shears, but it's like, if you don't know how to use them, don't know how to hold them, if they're too heavy for your hands, they don't fit in your hands, nothing matters how much you pay for them.
Right.
So, and that'll in itself drive up your numbers. Going through the learning process of trying to figure out what products work for you, what products work for the dogs, because not every product should be used for every dog. So
And you can't be a groomer with only one or two shampoos.
you can, but like you probably shouldn't. They make a basic clarifying shampoo and conditioner you can use, but I mean, you probably
Mhm.
shouldn't be doing that. It's a reason they make shampoos and conditioners for different coat types.
Yeah.
And so many of these companies, they'll send you samples for free. All you have
Yeah.
to do is reach out to them. Hell, most of them will contact you on social media. So there's
Just
really
test,
no excuse for
right.
not
Just
knowing.
asking you to test it out.
Yeah, it's no excuse for not knowing or using crappy products, because truth be told, you can sample your life away for the first few months if you want to, because all
Yeah.
these shampoos got to be diluted.
Yeah. All of them. So yeah. And that's another thing. Dilute your shampoo. Hey, I remember starting out and I was just like shampoo on dog. That's it.
Oh
Like
no, I never did.
conditioner on dog. That's it. Like, no, I was going through so much stuff, so many products, so fast. And then I figured out, oh, I can froth it. Oh, I can use a mixing bottle, you
I have
know?
not gotten on the froth wagon.
Oh, you'll love it.
I have not gotten on the froth wagon.
You'll love it. You'll love it. Froth your shampoos, people. Okay, it activates the shampoo. You create a luxurious lather and it stretches out your shampoo products and your conditioner products. And you don't have to use as much water as well, especially for all of my mobile people. Okay, you want to froth, 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 froth. That's another t shirt.
Are you froth, froth, froth? Are you advocating for frothing right now? There's no technique that I would be like, oh, this is absolutely the way to go. I'm not committed to any technique outside of I don't do prep work.
I get it. Unless
I
they need to
don't
be
have to be
shaved down.
matted or going from long to short for me to do prep work.
Yeah. No, and I do believe there are I hate the phrase 10 ways to skin a cat type of thing. But there are, especially in this field, you don't want to use that phrase, but anyway.
Oh, okay, that's
So
fair. That's fair.
yeah, but there are many ways, you don't reinvent the wheel. There are many ways to get to the end product of a great groom, but you have to make sure that you are educated enough to do it. You have to make sure you've dedicated time to learning how to do it and know that there are other ways to do it, but that comes with networking and talking to other people. If you're just like so gun hole on and tunnel visioned on one way, then you're not going to figure it out that there are other ways to do it,
And you probably
easier
gonna spend
ways,
a lot of
more
money.
efficient ways. But it all comes down to what you charge. Because if you don't charge appropriately, you are not going to have enough money to do the things that you need to do to learn more.
I agree. Because a lot of groomers are talking about they can't pay their bills. And I can't relate.
My bills are paid. I pay my bills. My bills are paid.
Because
Now I
when I
might not have much afterwards, but at least my bills are paid.
and when I say, like, I know my number almost down to the penny, because we're talking about personal and business expenses that need to be able to accommodate um what you make.
Mhm.
Not just, oh, every couple of months I buy $200 in shampoos. Like, no, everything. The
Mhm.
gas, the maintenance on your vehicle, your kids' extracurricular activities, the cheeseburger you bought because you was hungry and didn't feel like going to the
All an
grocery.
expense.
All of it matters. And if that number is off, you ain't getting no cheeseburger next month.
Can't afford it. Can't afford it. But we live in a day and time where everybody want to be outside. Everybody wants to have the best. Everybody wants to portray, this
Glamorous and
oh,
luxurious lifestyle.
right, through entrepreneurship. And they're also learning that shit hard. It's ghetto out here. Like it's
Entrepreneurship. I don't know who
I
said,
love it. Now it's a manageable stress. That's what it is.
but there was a time where people were saying that entrepreneurship is the only way to go
Mhm.
because of flexibility and being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And nobody says what you have to do to get to Bill Gates.
Mhm.
And it's like, yeah, you see all these entrepreneurs that you were following when they first got started, and now they multi-million dollars and vacationing and buying up land and millions of dollars in stocks and all of this other stuff. But like, how did we
How'd you
get here?
get there? How'd you get there?
How did we get
How,
here?
what
Like,
did you do to get there? You know? Um,
did you pay thousands of dollars in marketing? What does your team look like?
mhm.
Who was your team when you first got started? You got any day ones? Like, that's the stuff I want to know about entrepreneurship. Like, I don't care that you can go on vacation for a month now. Like, that's cool. I'm not there yet though, so that's not.
And to talk to other entrepreneurs in the pet care space, to learn things just like Talisa just said, tune into the Pet Pro Power Hour.
All right. All right. Okay. I like that.
No, but for real. No, and those are the conversations that a lot of us don't have. Like when we start off with pet sitting, grooming, training, dog walking, vet work, vet tech work, being veterinarians, things like that. Like when you hear people talk, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about what they do today and what they're going through today on a daily basis. But nobody in the industry really sits back and shares, hey, these are the steps that I've taken to get here. Like I have 10 locations. These are the steps that it took for me to get there. These are the people that I met along the way. This is the mindset that I've had to have. Like this is what I sacrificed. This is what I gave up. This is what I gained. You know, and I don't know. I think it's weird that a lot of people don't want to have those type of conversations, or they're not prepared to have those type of conversations. But I'm like, you can't you can't expect the industry to get better or people to get better in the industry if you're not willing to share the things that helped you get to where you are. Because there's so many people who are looking at you and just saying, hey, I want to get there, or I want to have that, or I want to do that. And they're stuck at level one because they don't have mentors helping them to get to level two, and then finding more people to add to their resources to get to level three, and then things like that because you're at level 10, but you think the people at level one are so beneath you that you're not willing to teach or mentor or at least just give some glimpse of information to be like, hey, this is how you do this. That sucks.
Yeah, because honestly, like, it's cool to know you in a place where you feel comfortable mentoring, but like, what was you doing when you had to file your taxes that first time? Because I know that was wrong and you owed like $8 million. What did you do? And
How
that,
did you pay that off?
did you get somebody to redo your taxes because you knew you didn't know what you was doing?
Right.
Um, did you pay taxes throughout the year that first year? Like, did you know? Those are the things that I want to hear about.
Yeah.
Those are the things that I feel like would be most beneficial to people in general. Not how do I get to Tahiti in 30 days.
Yeah, because your focus is wrong. Your goals are wrong. Like there are so many people that are in this for the money. And it shows that they're in this for the money. Not that you genuinely care about what you're doing. You don't treat your business like a job. Don't treat your business like a hobby. Like, don't start this just to say, hey, it's giving me something to do so I can make a few dollars. Like, no, you have to genuinely care about what you're doing. And then when you care about what you're doing, then it has potential to grow. But you get a lot of people who are stuck at that same level because they're just like, well, I just want to make some money. That's it.
But this ain't the industry to get in just because you want to make some money, because you need a level of patience to work with animals. It's animals and kids, man. You can't get into these two industries with no patience.
Now, I will say,
There's game to play, and you would end up.
when we first started out and expenses were at an all-time low, and we had booked out appointments day after day after day, and you're just like, oh crap, I
Thought you
could
was
spend
Richie
five
Rich
hundred
swimming in
dollars,
the pool.
huh?
You thought you was Richie Rich swimming in the pool of
No,
money.
for real. I was saving up money. At one point, my savings account had $10,000 in it. I was like, oh yeah. And then life lifed. And that dwindled down.
I was gonna
But
say, you
then it
want to
was,
talk about what's in that savings account now?
yeah, yeah. So now it's just like you gotta, oh man. I just there's no easy way to be like to get into entrepreneurship or get into grooming or get into whatever and just automatic like this is not a get rich quick thing. This is a get wealthy over time thing.
Yeah.
And everybody like people want to get rich quick, but I'm like, no, like I will spend everything that I have to invest in my business to make sure that it's better tomorrow, rather than spend everything that I have today to satisfy today, you know? Like, nah, you gotta be willing to give that up for next week, for next month, next year, to have better and do better and invest in yourself. 100%.
We need to press
And
pause.
that's where the higher price points come from. Hmm?
My laptop got to go.
All right, and we're back.
So we said all that to say this, right? What should I charge? You tell me. you tell me how much money you need to make.
How much money do you need to make? Hey, that's real. And then that way you'll see how much you need to charge. You'll see how to keep your expenses low. And what you need to take important. Like what do you need to make important to invest in so that you can charge appropriately. Um, Name of the game is to keep your business functioning and above water, not just surviving out here in these streets. Okay. So that's a wrap for this episode of Shaking the Table. We hope we sparked some thoughts, stirred some conversation, and maybe challenged the way you see the pet industry. Definitely let us know if you have any comments or questions. But remember, this is just the beginning. Your voice matters too. So if there's a topic that you are passionate about or an issue that you think that needs to be addressed, We want to hear from you. So feel free to submit your ideas, concerns, and stories anonymously. We'll talk about it on each episode. We'll be here every Tuesday. And with that together, we can continue to shake things up and create a positive change because this is the conversations that y'all need to have and information you need to know. So thanks for joining us. And until next time, keep questioning, keep challenging, and keep shaking the table. Peace.